Everyone could use some extra storage. It can be for tools, or food, or just stuff we don't need. What is this? So I wanted to see if I could build you a set of low price adjustable shelves. And during this process I found out 2 things I love and 1 thing I hate. Now most of the garage shelving units I've seen are around 5 to 6 feet tall, about 3 to 4 feet wide with at least 4 to 5 shelves. But sometimes these can be difficult to modify and we have a bunch of wasted space. So we want to make these shelves easily adjustable. I'm also thinking about splitting the shelf into 2 sections. And that'll give us adjustable shelves on each side, which should give us more versatility. And to keep this simple, let's build this out of basic lumber since it's available to most people. And yes, the price of some wood is still high. But looking at our local store, the price of 2x4s and sheets of OSB have come way back down. So let's try to work with those. Starting with the legs, I'm going to cut down 6 boards at 72 inches. This should fit in most people's garage or basement. Now I used a miter saw to make these cuts, but you can use a circular saw or a hand saw if you're careful. Just make sure that every cut is as close to 90 degrees as possible. With the legs cut to about 6 feet, we should make the depth of our shelves about 2 feet, and that should give us plenty of space for storage. And with the spacing of our legs measuring about 7 inches, with the leftover scrap from earlier, we should cut 6 of these down to 17 inches. These pieces will fit right in between the front and the back legs, creating a nice rigid frame. And for assembly, I would suggest using pocket screws on both ends. And just remember, when we go to assemble this, we want to make sure the pocket screws are facing inward, that way they don't look so bad. On the top of these legs, the connecting boards are going to be flush, but on the bottom, these will be inset about 1 inch. This will keep it a little bit easier to level on the floor. And if you happen to have a large clamp, it will definitely minimize that wood movement. And now that we've assembled these 3 sets, we need to connect them all together into one big frame. So I'm going to grab some more wood and we're going to cut down some 23-inch long pieces. You're going to need 4 of these for the top and 4 of these for the bottom. At this point, I'm going to add an additional feature to these pieces since I have a table saw. But if you don't have this tool, that's okay. Just skip this step. On all 8 of these boards, I'm going to cut a little rabbet out of one of the corners. This will create a little ledge for the top and bottom shelf to sit on. We want to cut halfway into the board and about a 1/2 inch up. So I drew on the end of the board so we don't make any mistakes, and I'm going to adjust the fence and the blade to fit that. Once set up, I cut across the tall edge of the board, and after running all 8 boards through the saw, I readjusted the blade and the fence and carefully removed the remaining section of the wood while cutting on the side of the board. After cutting out all the ledges, we need to drill some pocket holes like we did before. Just make sure your holes are on the same side as the ledge, that way they can be hidden. And to connect all the pieces, I would suggest moving everything to the floor so you're not fighting gravity. For the upper section, the board's going to be flush with the top of the legs. And on the bottom side, we're going to move it in 1 inch, just like we did previously. And once you have that first side attached, carefully lift it up, flip it over onto its other side so you can repeat the process. Now once you get everything together, don't be surprised if it moves a little bit on you. Most floors in basements and garages are not level, and I know for a fact that this one is very unlevel. So that's why it's moving so much. Now that we have the top and bottom frame in place, we need to do some side supports for the shelves. And to do that, we're going to cut down some more 2x4s into 24-inch sections. I'm going to need 7 of these. After cutting all these, I'm going to take these over to my table saw and we're going to cut out 4 3/4-inch strips. Now if by chance you don't have a table saw, that's okay. You can buy some 1x2 furring strips. Now these will cost you a little bit more than using the 2x4s like I'm going to do, but they will work. And after ripping those 2x4s down, we should end up with 28 strips. Now when I go to attach these strips to the inside of our frame, I'm just going to use screws. So we need to make sure we pre-drill each of these holes so we don't get any major cracking. Depending on how you want to attach this, you could use 1 screw or 2, but I think 1 screw will be strong enough for my use. And once you have the first one drilled, just use it as a template for the rest. Using some of the scrap left over we had, I cut out 2 pieces at 6.5 inches. These are going to be our spacers for our shelf supports. Let's start by placing one of the spacers on top of the bottom shelf, and then once that's in position, you want to make sure it is flush with the side. And I highly recommend using a clamp if you have one. And once the first one's in place, add a second to the same side. Then take your first shelf support, center it on the frame, and add your screws. Then we're going to take the spacers out, place them on top of the support we just did, add another support in place, and repeat that process all the way up. And once in position, we should have a total of 7 supports that look something like a ladder. Then we need to repeat this process 3 more times. Once on the opposite end, and then 2 on the center frame. Once all the shelf supports are in place, let's add some additional bracing to the back to help prevent bowing of the legs. And just like the previous supports, these will be cut at 23 inches. And then of course, let's drill some pocket holes on the ends. Let's place these supports about midway up to give the most strength. And if we line these up with the bottom of the shelf supports, they should be out of the way. And once everything's in place, our frame should be pretty strong and rigid. It's now time to cut out the shelves. And to do that, I'm going to be using some OSB. Now some of you might prefer to use plywood, and I completely understand, but I'm going to use this because I can buy a 4x8 sheet of this for about $10. And right now in my area, plywood is very expensive. Now I want to do a rip cut lengthwise on the OSB, and to do that I found my straightest 2x4, or at least as straight as you can find these, and I'm going to use a circular saw to make that cut. Making sure I clamp down my straight edge, I trimmed it into a 22.5-inch strip. I then trimmed this piece into 4 23-inch sections. And if I cut this correctly, it should fit right in this lower shelf. Ha! Almost perfect. 2 of these shelves go in the top sections and 2 will go on the bottom. Now if you didn't trim out the little ledge on your 2x4 because you don't have a table saw, that's okay. Just take another thin piece of wood and create a little ledge for your OSB and just trim it to size. Now it's time to trim out the shelves that'll go on these supports. To make this quick, we could trim these out to the exact width. But if we do that, there's a very good chance they'll move back and forth as we use them. So instead of cutting it the full width, let's actually cut it slightly wider and then we'll notch it out for the legs. Hopefully this will work. So for the depth of this, we got about 24 inches, and for the width, we're about 23.5. And then on each corner, we're gonna notch out about 1/4 inch the full width of the legs. And to cut these out, I'm gonna use a jigsaw. There's a very good chance I'm gonna have to go back and sand all these down to get rid of some of these splinters, but let's first test this out. We're gonna have to angle this to get it in there, but so far so good. Oh yeah, awesome. If you end up building this setup and it's a little bit too tight, you can always refine your cuts, but overall, it should fit in there pretty nice. After getting all 4 shelves in place, I realized you could easily cut out a bunch more and put one on almost every shelf support. That should give you a lot more storage as well. And if you don't like the look of the OSB or plywood, whatever you use, you can always put a front veneer on these to make it look better. Now whether you use OSB or plywood, over time there's a very good chance that your shelves might warp just a little bit. If that's the case, carefully remove them, flip them over, and install them back in place, and that should allow them to go flat. To build this project, I use a total of 11 2x4s and 1 4x8 sheet of OSB, costing me all just under $50. I would call that a win. Oh, and I almost forgot. There was 2 things I loved and 1 thing I hated. First thing I loved was the price. I mean, how could I go wrong with that? It was a great price. And number 2, the ease and availability for you to run out and grab these at your local home improvement store. Now there was 1 thing I did hate, and that was just using OSB. Whenever you cut it, it liked to splinter and just have fibers everywhere, and you would have to sand it down, or you could easily get it in your hand. So if you're going to build this, in the future, I might consider building it with just plywood. But overall, if you're looking for a cheap price, OSB is the way to go. Now, if you enjoyed this project, you might want to check out this next one.